Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Men's Physique Show. Let's go. I got my boy, Phil Naselli, coming from down yonder, Australia, Melbourne, the Australian voice of Men's Physique. Phil Naselli, let's go. And now in Bali, our boy, the heartbeat of Men's Physique, my man, your man, been doing this strong for so long. Hart McGrath, McGravy, let's go.
Let's go, Hart.
And your boy, Aline Bolton, IBBB Pro, and of course, the Gaffer. Man, what I love about this episode is that we have an opportunity to talk about India Week. We have an opportunity to talk about the Arnold UK. We got things going on in China. Hart, where we at? Boys, what's going on?
Man, first thing I want to say to the Horde, to the Men's Physique audience is we just dropped a Bhawan Chao interview, and that was very powerful. Phil, what do you think about that interview, and why should people watch that?
Man, Bhawan is such a down-to-earth guy. Like, I actually loved watching that interview back. And I loved being on the interview with you boys. I mean, just the mindset on the guy, obviously went to the other side of the world as an international student. Now he's gone back to India. He's a great representative of the sport. You can see how much the Indian community love him, as well as the bodybuilding community. And he's made such an impact over there in his homeland. So, yeah, guys, if you haven't checked it out, definitely go check it out. It's a great watch. It's a great listen. And he just drops so many gems, so much insight, so much knowledge. He's just a wealth of knowledge, that guy. And very, very powerful interview. Gaffer, what do you reckon about it?
Man, highly intelligent guy, business mind, entrepreneur. I mean, the accolades, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, Bhawan, thank you so much, man, for jumping on the show with us. We had a great time. Can't wait to see you in person, hit your gym, really get it in. He promised us that we have, did he say lifetime membership?
I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
I think if he didn't, he should have. So check the episode, check it out. We'll be out there.
Links in the description for that one.
I love it. I love it, boys. Well, let's get into this. I'm going to share my screen because there's a lot of cool stuff that we get to talk about today. Apparently, we got a lot of boys over in China. And Phil, you were kind of breaking down earlier why these guys are in China. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah. Man.
Awesome. Well, first of all, we got to talk about second in the world is in China, getting looked at by Andre Ferguson. Phil, why are you see? Hey, well, he stays in China, but why is Ali in China? Why is Andre in China? What do you think's going on?
I think from what I've seen, I mean, there's a couple of guys from around Asia that have all kind of gone into this hub. I think it's in Shanghai. And I'm pretty certain there's an expo over there at the moment where a lot of the manufacturers are kind of showcasing their equipment. Maybe they arranged for 2026. And it seems like Ali's over there. Dre's over there, very similar to what Erin did a couple of months ago for this company right here, Rosen. And like we've said about a lot of the athletes that have gone over to these Asian countries, these guys get treated like superheroes, like, celebrities, the works. They were all gifted brand new iPhone 17 Pro Maxes by the owners of these companies. Like, you go there, you see them with the bouquets of flowers, just the fanfare around them. Like, it's really, really cool to see, especially, from the other side of the world. And I've said it in previous episodes, I wish the athletes got treated like this everywhere in the world, whether it be Australia, whether it be Europe, whether it be in the States, as well as, like I said, the Middle East and Asia. So, yeah, the guys are there at the moment. Andre Ferguson's keeping us all up to date with what's happening behind the scenes, as he normally does. But it's really, really cool to see the Chinese community get around these athletes. Gaffer,
yeah,
take it away.
Man, I agree. First of all, I had to crack up a little bit because I saw Andre Ferguson's face. That was hilarious. Right there.
There it is. He knows he's on. He knows.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the type of look that you want to have when it comes to number 2 in the world, right? When the number 2 in the world takes off his shirt and starts showing you the intercostal muscles, the anterior serratus, the whole nine. Now it looks like Ali's got a back. You see how it's a little bit wider in these pictures. Now, granted, he hasn't started cutting or anything like that, but clearly he knew that and has heard enough times that this is his Achilles heel. Similar to Brandon, you can see he's putting in a lot of work in to get the back up because he does want to be number 1 in the world. And I like what's going on. I mean, he's got the white tiger in the back, letting you know he's ferocious. He's ready. Ali Bilal, man. I mean, what do you expect? This is, he and he are almost like the same size right there. You see that?
Yeah, Yeah, no,
it's an interesting comparison right there, and it doesn't look like anyone's out angling the other. So that looks pretty even.
Well, he's getting ready for a couple of big shows in a couple of months. I think he's got the New York Pro locked down. He signed his contract, a couple of days ago. Same with the Pittsburgh Pro contract. He's ready to rock and roll for 2026. He's put in the work. I mean, we can see this guy's cutting down. Like you said, Gaffer, like he has made improvements to that rear shot, which I'm really, really excited for. But one thing that we know about Ali is he is going to be ready early. He said it in our interview that he typically is stage ready 4 weeks out. And based on these photos, like he's not too far away. He looks like he's coming in very, very nicely. Like that lower back is dialed in. He's added some size and some muscle to the back. The abs, the typical Ali Bilal abs, the trademark Ali Bilal abs are starting to come in. So yeah, I think Pittsburgh is 6 weeks away, 7 weeks away, something along those lines. And if this is anything to go by, this guy's going to be ready to rock and roll in a couple of weeks.
I'm sure he's got his dishwasher already ready to go, his dishwasher liquid, and that tan is going to look something amazing.
I'm telling you, that tip has gone everywhere. Like Ali, obviously, we saw it with Sam Sulek. I don't know if you guys saw the interview. I actually watched the interview back because I'm like, I wanted to see exactly what Sam Sulek said. I saw it on Greg Doucette's his video that he dropped. But I wanted to hear it from Sam Sulek. I wanted to see what he actually said. And he goes, yeah, he did watch this bodybuilding podcast and he gave Ali Bilal a bit of slack. He goes, this old guy said, I'm like, this guy's young.
He's not guy's like almost your age, bud. Yeah.
he's not old, but he also had, and I don't know if you guys know this, what's his name? Is the Italian guy from Classic Physique. The young guy, Andrea Mamoni, I think his name is. He looked impressive as well at the Arnold Classic. I think he took third at the show, and he also utilized the Ali Bilal secret with the dishwashing liquid. So you can see the secret's coming out and all the pros are starting to utilize it.
Well, it's a good thing the question was asked on the Men's Physique show and it sparked all this. So there you have it. Let's go.
Exactly right.
A lot of things happen from this show. I mean, Ryan Terry winds up being the 3-time champ. People are using dishwasher soap now to put their tans on and look even better.
We're starting a trend over here.
Yeah. What is next, boys? Anyway, great stuff. Great stuff, Ali. Looking good.
What do you think about Ali this far out from the Pittsburgh and New York Pro?
Dude, can you guys hear me okay? Yeah, I think I can see my sound. Dude, for me, it's like if I was Ali, and this is my brother for sure. We talk a lot in the DMs. If I was Ali, I would do everything in my power to have no one ever say again that I have a weak back, because I don't think the judges, I don't think anyone that is a fan of Ali, meaning the audience, has ever complained about his front. And this guy has just such a insane opportunity to be the Mr. Olympia if the back gets better. I mean, that's it. That is all he needs. And he has a serious chance of beating Ryan Terry. Obviously, Ryan Terry is known to come in money. Ali is also known to come in money. But if Ali improves the back, it's just... I hope he's taking that back training serious. You know what I mean? Because again, the opportunity to be the Mr. Olympia in October or September is right there. It's right there. Like if I was Ali, every single rep for me has to mean the most to me, because you are right there, Ali, and all you need from the judges critiquing you from the Men's Physique show is a better back. And it's crazy when you look at his back. His back looks like it has everything. Like the potential is there, the genetics are there for Ali. It just, where do you boys think it needs improvement? Let me see if I can find. Let's watch him on stage here. This was 2025.
That's the Arnold.
Is this the Arnold? Yeah. Okay. We'll watch him turn to the back. Yeah, go ahead, boys.
Yeah, when he turns to the back, look the front. The front is undeniable. I mean, the front is like again one of the best. He and Brandon. I mean, and of course Ryan have the best fronts. But look at this, beautiful.
And people can talk about how he has a wider waist than all these guys. It doesn't matter. He's such a good poser in the way he manipulates his waist. You want to talk about how he has a wide waist? I don't even hear it, because it doesn't matter. He's second in the world. Call him whatever you want, whatever wide waist nickname you want for him. It doesn't matter.
When you know how to pose and keep your weaknesses away from the judge's eyes. I mean, unfortunately, the back it's mandatory to do a back shot. But I mean, he hides the waist perfectly. He and Vitor are master manipulators of the waist. If you want to know how to manipulate your waist, look at Vitor Chavez and look at Ali Bilal if you have a wide waist. Do that. Suggestion. Go ahead, Phil. Sorry.
No, you took the words out of my mouth. A lot of people will sit there and hate on his waist and whatnot, but bodybuilding is a game of illusions. I'm sure there's a lot of other top 10 Olympians that have weaknesses that don't really get exposed because they know how to cover them up. You know, they hide their weaknesses. They hide their weaknesses. They show their strengths. That's part of the game. That's what makes bodybuilding. It's not always about just standing front on and to the back like it was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, when there wasn't these more specific judging criteria. Back then it was like, if you watched the pumping irons, for example, it was just you stand front on, you turn to the back, and everything was exposed. Whether you had a thicker waist, whether you had a smaller back, we had smaller arms, you couldn't hide it. Now the criteria has changed. Now there's transitions. Now there's posing criteria for reasons. So obviously to allow the athletes to showcase the best form of their physique. And that's just something a lot of people just need to get their head around. This is bodybuilding these days, and there's no other way around it.
I agree with you 100%. In terms of his back, though, thanks for stopping right here, Hart, because this really gives a nice view, not the perfect view, because we're not sitting where the judges essentially would be sitting to see it from their angle, from their vantage point. But this is a nice angle, right? And just off the rip, I have to appreciate the detail in the back. Like when you look at the muscle and the lines in the muscle, just looking at the lines, you have to appreciate that. So that's definitely a nice, check mark for him. Peeled. I see conditioning. He looks great. What needs to happen here? Thickness to the back, lower lats development, and potentially, depending on how much the lower lats develop, more in the upper lats. But that's really where he needs to develop. And it sounds like, to some people a lot, to other people not so much. It could be a lot, especially if genetically you don't have the genetics to showcase lower lats like that. Like some people are just genetically blessed with a manual hunter, blessed genetically with lower lat insertions, thickness, upper lats, the whole nine. Like he doesn't have to work, half as much as these guys do in order to develop that type of back because of genetics. Not that he doesn't, but he doesn't have to, is what I'm saying, because he's already genetically blessed like that. But again, the tan hits perfectly because there's more to a back pose than just the still shot of a back. So you also have to look at, when you're on stage, do you start to sweat? Or are you conditioned? And when the judges have you up there, you might not have the widest and best back, but it's enough there. And the fact that you're not sweating and things aren't going wrong for you in that moment, you're able to control the controllables. The others start to sweat. They might have a thicker back, wider back, what have you, combinations thereof. But if they start to lose it or they start to fade out and look like, now they start, like water starting to come between the muscle and the skin and all, you can win. So it's again, but we're not talking about at the level he's at. Granted, no one is doing that. Like Ryan Terry, Brandon Hendrickson, Aaron Banks, that they're not going to show up and start, being fatigued on stage from doing a back pose. Granted, this is the upper top of the food chain elite, but I'm just saying, if he can get those things up against anybody else, obviously crushing them on any other tier, and that's what I see. What do you see, Phil?
I agree, man. Like I think it's more density, if anything. Like when you look at the best backs in the world, when you look at Erin, when you look at Emil, it's just they've got thickness. That's the one thing that he's lacking, and he's lacking the thickness in a lot of different areas. To your point, the lats definitely need to be brought up. The lats need to get a little bit wider just to fill in that gap. Obviously, that back shot isn't. We would prefer to be front on so you can see everything, but I just think it's more of a thickness thing. We know that he comes in conditioned, so I don't think detailing won't be an issue when he does bring that back up. But yeah, I think it's just going to come down with time, man. Sometimes that's all you can do. You're dealt the cards that you're dealt. Genetics are in your favor at times, and for other people, it doesn't favor you. For him, it's just a little bit more hard work, a little bit, more heavier rows, rack pulls. Actually, not rack pulls, sorry, more single arm rows, more bent over rows, just heavy lifts, heavy compound lifts, not to overcomplicate it, but it's just more density. Hard, if you looking at this photo, if you had to pick apart Ali's back, where do you think the biggest improvements? Yeah, what do you think the biggest improvements need to be made?
I think we're all really aligned with the thickness and the density just needs to come through a little bit more, because I do like his shape. I do like his V-taper. The silhouette is really pretty. But when I think about who beats him, when I think about Ryan Terry, there's just more to his back. It's just more 3D. Ali just needs more of a 3D back. To your point, Aleem, I love the lines. I love the genetics, the muscle bellies, the way it flows. It's a pretty back. It's a good back, but it's not Ryan Terry's back. So it'll be interesting to see for me when Ali Bilal has maxed out his back like Terry does or has. Will that be a better back than Terry, genetically speaking, aesthetically speaking, or will it always be just a little bit behind Ryan Terry? So I'm super excited for Ali Bilal. I know we're 8 weeks away from the Pittsburgh Pro, and I want to move on because we have some other hitters doing the Pittsburgh Pro that I want to get into. Gaff, I'll throw it over to you first. Yo, the news of the week. And a guy who I think everyone thinks can be in that top 3 at this year's Mr. Olympia. Phil, I'm pretty sure he's already qualified for the 2026 Mr. Olympia. It is he won't ever admit this, but I think it's very easy for Kyron and DJ Pure to qualify for the Mr. Olympia. His lovely girlfriend, Milena, says, y'all know what time it is. Let's go get it. And Gaff, I want to give you the latest update, then you can toss it over to Phil. Kyron Holden down in Las Vegas in the Dragon's Lair. Most recent physique update, quick one. How's he looking? What's going on? What do you think? Pittsburgh Pro, 8 weeks.
He looks great. I mean, he looks full. He looks like he never took his foot off the gas pedal. I mean, Kyron is never, ever, ever out of the conversation. He's the people's champ, the uncrowned champ. I love what Milena and he have together in terms of their relationship. I think that you find guys, Aaron Banks and Ryan Terry and a lot of others who that works really well for them when they have a spouse with them. They have someone with them that they could ride out with and keeps it honest with them and it keeps it fun and they've got focus and balance. And you can see that with Kyron. But yeah, he's just a phenomenal athlete. I mean, for years now. And you could have said that he could have taken it a couple of years, especially with the way the criteria is today. I think he was just ahead of his time. He was too big for the division when the division was a lot smaller. And now the division is essentially caught up to his size, thanks to Brandon. And you see a lot of people with more size in the men's physique division. Really, as tall, what is Kyron? He's 5'11", something like that, 6? I don't think he's 6 feet, right?
No, I would give him maybe 5'10", 5'11", max. 5'10",
5'11". So, yeah, so he's probably hitting the stage at 203, 204, 205, somewhere around there. I think that's probably around where his weight cap is. I mean, the guy fills out every inch of that weight cap and just has a bubbly physique. So love his look, love his posing for sure, and love the mind of Kyron Holden. What you got, Phil?
Yeah, number one, that screams power couple right there. Kyron and his partner there. That if that's not power couple, I don't know what is. But Kyron, I mean, yeah, locked it down, secured that qualification. Was it later last year? And obviously, the advantage that he had in comparison to everyone else was he's got more time to obviously develop over the last couple of months, while people are now trying to fight for points and fight for their qualifications. Now, the beauty about what we're going to see as fans, we're going to see Kyron do that Pittsburgh Pro, and it's going to make such a great battle because now, obviously, we know Ali Bilal is going to be doing it. We're going to see Kyron Holden. That could easily be a number 2 and 3, even a 1, 2, and 3 at the 2026 Mr. Olympia. We've always said that Kyron is, in our opinion, the uncrowned Mr. O. We believe that he could potentially win a Mr. O in the future, but I'm with you, man. Like, this guy fills out the frame really, really nicely, from his chest to his silhouette to his posing to the works. The guy took a year off. When was it? Last year. And obviously had other things to focus on. I know he's a yoga instructor as well. So in terms of flexibility, that would have definitely helped with his style of posing. But yeah, I mean, it's going to make such an exciting Pittsburgh Pro in a couple months' time. I'm looking forward to seeing Kyron back on stage again.
Hey, I got a question for you, Hart. The Pittsburgh Pro show is so stacked right now. Do you think that the runners up, number 2, number 3, and probably number 4, are probably going to go to the Gold's Classic if they don't fare well at the Pittsburgh, because that's the last opportunity to qualify for the O? Do you think that they would probably start to set their eyes there, give themselves enough time in order to get them, like, kind of hit that show, try to win that show, and go into the Olympia with either making the last bit of points that they need or with some momentum going into the O? What do you think about that?
Yeah, so you're saying like whoever wins the Pittsburgh Pro, you're qualified, but the guys who get like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, do I think they're going to hop in the Gold show right before the O? Man, that's interesting. You would think a lot of these guys, if you're going to play 2nd, 3rd, and 4th at Pittsburgh, are going to be some of these top guys, like a Banks, like a Ali, like a Chiron, let's say, and we got another name we'll talk about here in a second. You think they'd want to qualify before then? Because, you know, I feel like when you're a top guy in the world and you're still trying to qualify for the Olympia like a week out of the show, maybe a little stressful. But with these new rules changing, I wouldn't be surprised. I know if I was a big time pro, there's a few shows I'd want to be at this year, and one of them at the top of my list would be the Gold's Classic. Tyler Mannion is going to be head judging that, and what a better way to enter the Mr. Olympia with winning the Gold's Pro show in front of Tyler Mannion, looking amazing, and coming into the Olympia looking phenomenal. So I think it'd be a smart move if one of these top 3-4 guys competes a week before the Olympia. If it works out in their schedule and their prep and their coaching, I know I would love to see it. Personally, I would love to see it. Guys, I did want to pull this up real quick. This was the 2021 Pittsburgh Pro. I remember talking about it, and this was the very first time we saw Aaron Banks being lined up against Chiron, against Raymond Edmonds. And the craziest part about this, you got to remember, this is Aaron Banks' like 3rd show ever as a pro, and he's up here, he's up here looking great against Kyron Holden and Raymond Edmonds. And I remember when they turned to the back, I'm like, oh my gosh, like Ray's back is like more 3D than Ray, or Aaron's back is more 3D than Ray's. It was pretty crazy. But Kyron is known to win the Pittsburgh Pro, and the fact that he's showing up now against Aaron Banks, against Ali Bilal, is crazy. But I do want to bring up one more name that we found out possibly is doing the Pittsburgh Pro. I want to send it over to you, Phil, first. And I've gotten word that we are 90% certain that top 6th, and I had to see what it is, top 6th in the world. Phil, I'll let you pronounce his name. My Chinese brother. Oh, here it is. Oh, he put it in his bio. You guys see this? Jushin. Jushin. Is that how you would say it? Jushin?
Jushin.
Jushin. No, that's what I've been saying. Jushin.
No, that wasn't. Hang on.
Hey, you see that?
Jushin. Oh, man, what is it? It started again. Anyway, he.
Anyways, hey, yeah. Jushin, hey.
Let's go.
We've got word. Now, there's a comment circling around Instagram. Aaron Banks has confirmed that Jushin Hey will be doing the Pittsburgh Pro. And if that is for certain, Phil, that means Ali Bilal 2nd in the world, Kyron Holden, who could be a Mr. Olympia this year, he's been placed top 3 multiple times, Aaron Banks, a Mr. Olympia, and now Jushin Hey 6th in the world, one of the most exciting man, you know, as far as breakout star at the 2025 Olympia. He's going to be possibly competing at the Pittsburgh Pro. Phil, if he does compete at the Pittsburgh Pro, what does that mean for the Pittsburgh Pro?
First thing, everything makes a lot more sense now, because sounds like Ali Bilal went to China to suss out the competition to see where he's at with things. That would be such an Ali Bilal move, though. That would be such an Ali Bilal move. But
he's so tactical. Yes.
Right. But man, that would make such an exciting Pittsburgh Pro. Think of that. Like, Jushin obviously came out of the blocks in 2025 and obviously stamped his name in the bodybuilding world. And this is his opportunity to tell the world that, hey, that wasn't a fluke. You know, now you're going up against some of the best in the world in front of Tyler Mannion at Tyler's show, at the Mannion show, I should say, Jim's show. So, yeah, it would make it such an exciting battle. I mean, it'll be cool to see the improvements that this guy's made over the last 12 months. But yeah, him, Chiron, Ali. There's another name that I think we're going to talk about in a minute, so I won't mention that one either. Man, it's going to be... We thought the Arnold Classic US was a mini Olympia. Just wait till the Pittsburgh Pro. And speaking of Pittsburgh Pro, how about the improvements of the production? It looked like in 2021 they had a backdrop of a sheet with Pittsburgh. Yeah. The Pittsburgh... Now they've got a full... It looks really, really nice. So, yeah, massive improvements on their production end. But it's going to be a cool battle. Gaffer.
I agree with the production. I actually was thinking the same thing. I was like, oh my God, remember those rinky-dink, ish, no shade thrown, but those rinky-dink-ish backdrops that they used to have. And now you've got like, TVs that wrap around the stage and whatnot, that curve. I mean, it's a crazy, beautiful sight nowadays. But I'm glad that the league as a whole, for the most part, has improved with the look and the production of all these shows. Shout out to Tim Gardner. Shout out to Mike over there at Golds and a few others. Miami Pro's a dope show too. Jushin, wow! Like, boys, you already know how I feel about this guy. He and Vitor Chavez, to me, have that diamond shape physique. I think that they have similar physiques with the way that they pose and the way that their backs look at this stage in Vitor's career also. The lats have come in. You see some density. You've got detail. The streamline of the arms into the shoulders, the full chest. I think Jushin has even better abs, at least in the Olympia, than Vitor Chavez. So, I mean, do not sleep on this guy. I think that it's very, very possible with his back and his front and the improvements he's made since the Olympia that, we could see potentially an upset. So that's where my head's at. What do you think, Hart? What you got?
Dude, I hope the rumors are true. I hope we see this guy at the Pittsburgh Pro, because it's definitely an Olympia preview before the Mr. Olympia. I feel like all we're missing is Brandon Hendrickson. It's going to be crazy because they're all different physiques. You think of Banks. What do you think of? Tall, structure, looks like he could be a wide receiver in the NFL. You think of Kyron Holden. I think of like a running back, maybe like a strong safety, maybe even like a middle linebacker, a little bit more size. Ali Bilal, what sport do you guys see Ali Bilal playing if he didn't compete in bodybuilding? Like soccer? What do you think?
I would say soccer or wrestling.
I like the wrestling. Yes, I can see Ali
got
doing
that
wrestling.
Physique like a wrestler, the thick neck, the whole nine.
Yes,
the work
totally.
Like a John Cena. I can see it.
Yes. Yes.
What about Jushin?
Man, Jushin, man.
I can see him on a Men's Health cover model, to be honest.
I was about to say just modeling, bro. Like he looks
He's so perfect
literally.
looking. Yeah,
he looks incredible. I think
I would like to see his legs come up a little bit for his upper body.
Yeah,
I like to see his quads come up. He's got great calves, but I like to see his quads come up more.
That's a great point, and that may hold him back.
Yeah, I think he gets that popping, bro. He's and continues to develop those obliques and all. It's over.
Do we have any tagged photos of him by any chance? Maybe someone's taken a sneaky photo of him
recently, right? It's our boy Fabian. Let's see. What do we got? Anything?
I got to tell you, he's filling out the oversized t-shirts very, very nicely. So that's telling me he's put on a bit of size.
Yeah,
those forearms are looking thick. Pause.
Dude, I saw a comment on our show. Someone commented recently. They said the pause men's physique show or something like that, because we say pause so much.
I read somewhere where it was like it's great journalism adding the pauses or something like that. I'm like, it's our trademark, that's our specialty.
That's what we do. Yeah.
Erin Banks. And speaking of power couples, who did I send it over to first last time? Was it Phil Gaffa? I'm gonna send it to you then. Erin Banks has been doing a lot off the stage, whether it's business, whether it's getting his teeth whitened, whether it's doing paddle, whether it's traveling with his lady. He's also recently dropped a few updates. He says weighing 229 pounds this morning after sushi on Monday is mind-blowing. He says, I'm walking like I never won anything. Another athlete that I hear say something similar to that is Brandon Hendrickson. I don't know if you've heard him say something like that. Like, he acts and he trains and he behaves like he isn't a Mr. Olympia. Gaffa, Erin Banks is definitely confirmed. This is not a rumor. Holy width is doing the Pittsburgh Pro in 8 weeks' time. Can this guy still win a big show like Pittsburgh? Can he be a repeat? How many times has he won the Pittsburgh?
Honestly, I'm just going to be real with you. I think Erin Banks has the opportunity to win the next 3 Olympias if he comes dialed in. I mean, I'm not saying that just because, we know Erin and we're cool with all these guys. So there's no bias here. But two things that really stood out when we were, I mentioned before, we were sitting at the airport leaving the Arnold Classic last week, and he and I were chopping it up for a while. One of the things that he said that really stood out to me was the fact that he and Cuts took a different approach this time, where they have him under his weight cap. So he's going to be able to grow into his weight leading up to the show. By inversing that, that means that the skin is already going to be tight. And when he goes up in weight, it's that muscle that's just going to press up against the skin, as opposed to having more skin and then having to scale down and make weight. And then you have more separation between the skin and the muscle. So by doing the inverse, I think is such a unique thing, a unique way to capture your condition the way it used to be, the conditioning you had for Erin. I mean, not everyone is the same, but in this case, in his genetics, where he's at in his career, in his journey, this seems like it's going to make a lot of sense because you could see it. I mean, the guy looks freaking phenomenal. Like he could step on stage in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, almost. I mean, that's the level of conditioning he's at right now. And we've got a long time to go. So kudos to him. The second thing is his girl. You show me you take a guy who's got natural talent and then you give me work ethic. Okay. That's definitely top of the food chain. But then you throw in, he's got a solid home. He's got peace in his life. He's got someone who he can ride and die with, confide in, his best friend, soulmate, lover, the whole nine. Man, you could take over the world. There's no coincidence why so many billionaires are married couples, and multimillionaires are married, because they can focus on the bigger things. They don't have to worry about that part of their life. So kudos to him, man. He's got a lot of big things that are brewing. He's going to be on our show in a couple of weeks. He already confirmed it at the Arnold. You boys heard it. Everyone heard it on our post. So live and direct from Erin. So we can't wait to have him on. He's got big news to tell us, by the way. He's got some big, I can't disclose everything. He told me a lot. He didn't tell me everything, but he told me a lot. I can't disclose it. He's going to disclose it here on the Men's Physique Show. You're going to hear it first. He already promised us the exclusive. You know how we do. Let's go. What you got, Phil?
Now I'm not muted. For some reason I thought I was muted. I was going to say, I've got a feeling Erin is moving somewhere. I don't know if you guys have seen his stories, but this guy's selling everything and the kitchen sink. And all I'm saying is, no one better lowball this guy, because when you rock up to his house and you've lowballed him on a TV unit, you better start running, because that's not one man that I would want to be lowballing. But he looks great, man. Like, obviously confirmed he's doing the Pittsburgh Pro as well. And yeah, I feel like this is going to be a much better version than what we saw last year at the Olympia. Obviously, that wasn't the best version that we saw, but based on the photos, based on the check-ins that he's been showing us, up until this point, like, he looks better and better and better every single week. And yeah, add him to the mix, add him to the list with Ali and who else was it? Do we say Jushin? Oh, well, hopefully Jushin. I'm backing Erin, because Erin was the one that broke that news, and we know how close
that's his boy.
That's his boy. When they were in China, they were hanging every single day. So I'm gonna take it as gospel what he said about Jushin doing the Pittsburgh. But yeah, add another Olympian to the mix. He's won the Pittsburgh before. I think he won it in 2025? He won it. I think it might have been. So yeah, add it to the list.
Erin won in 20. Ali won last year, so Pittsburgh. He won 24, I think. Right? Yeah, Erin. It was Erin then Ali.
You sure? I thought it was. Double check that for me, Hart, while you're there.
I'm pretty sure Erin won last year, right? Because remember, he beat Brandon. Brandon had that short issue.
Because he got the new Pittsburgh. You're right, and Ali won the
year before.
That's correct. Yeah. You're right. I got reversed.
Yeah, to hold. So gives him more flame, and being up against some of the other best in the world, Ali, Jushin. Yeah, it's going to be number one. I feel like it's going to be a redemption show for him, because everyone was obviously talking smack about him after last year, and the fact that he came, fourth, but it was still able to come fourth with the physique that he presented on stage that day. So this is the time for him to really hold his title, keep his title, beat some of the best in the world, do it in front of Tyler Mannion, and lock in for the Olympia.
I love how he posted this 4 days ago. He said, "Just a reminder." Yo, I love the confidence, and his physique is going to be so interesting because it's such a different structure than all the rest of the guys, than Kyron, than Ali, than Jushin. So, we've heard time and time again, these tall guys, they just stand out. And if Erin nails his conditioning, it's going to be hard not to pick Erin. You guys just saw his coach comment here as well. Cut says way ahead of schedule from past preps in the past 3 years. So even his head coach or his coach Cuts is saying he's never seen Erin this far ahead, 8 weeks to go. So, these boys better get on their stuff. Real quick, boys, I got some breaking news that someone just sent to me. In the story, we got our Arnold Classic champion who just tagged me. He's in Bali, and he said, on my Hart McGrath vibe. So I got to go find this guy later today. I don't know if you recognize who that is.
I need to tell you. I was talking to B earlier via text and everything, and he had just landed, and he was like, "Yo, I just landed." I said, "Yo, you got to catch up with Hart." He was like, "Yo, I'm already 2 steps ahead of you." So, yeah, man, y'all got to catch up. You boys got to catch up.
You're going to that seminar, Hart, aren't you?
Yeah. I think it's the 21st or something like that. Yeah, I'd love to go. I'd love to make an appearance.
That'll be a cool one over there at Nicholas Ayong's gym. Like, that gym looks insane. So to have all the athletes there, I mean, there's a lot of Indonesian athletes that are going to be there as well. I'm sure Isai's going to be there. Brandon's going to be there. It's going to be cool. It's going to be a cool one.
I'm excited about it.
Isn't Isai doing the Pittsburgh Pro also?
Yeah, Isai. I think it was in his story. Phil, you caught on to it. Let's see here. So here's the seminar real quick. It is at the Reload Sanctuary, March 21st, 1 to 4. Chris Putra, Isai, Brandon, the whole shebang. I'll definitely show up to that.
Serge is putting that on. That's dope.
Okay. I'll meet Serge. Story's no longer available. That's crazy, Phil. We just saw it. But there was a contract up where Isai signed Phil for the New York Pro and the Pittsburgh Pro. Is that correct?
Well, I can confirm that, because when I met up with Isai earlier in the year, he actually told me he was doing those 2 shows, but he said, don't release anything yet. Isai's also going to be at that show. So, yeah, even more top athletes showing up to that one.
Bro, I'm so sorry. I just realized I've been muting you and not me sometimes. I've only done it like once for 5 seconds, but I
was going to say, I saw
that's why he went out.
I'm like, I saw it. I'm like, why the hell am I muted? I haven't even.
No, he did it twice, I think, because you went out before too. I was like, what?
I'm like, why can't I hear you right now? Yeah.
And I still heard behind. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, super
so,
excited.
Yeah, they're both doing it.
Yeah. And Isai was it was great meeting Isai. I think he's with this girl, and I was telling her, I was like, dude, I've been talking about your boy for like 6 years, and I've never met him in person. And as soon as I met Isai, it's like we were in person, like we've been boys for a while. Showed me a lot of love, man. Talked about you boys, a lot of love back at you guys. And I'll see him in about 5 days' time. Yeah, super down to earth. Everyone knows Isai and Ball. If you don't know Isai, your eyes have been closed down here. But that's going to be exciting.
And one more thing before we get into the next one, guys. If you haven't already, I mean, you've made it to the 38-minute mark of this episode. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the Men's Physique Show's YouTube channel. I mean, it's growing so quickly. It's crazy. I reckon we're going to get well over, close to at least 50,000 by the Olympia. Well, that's our goal anyway. And
what are we at?
I think we're almost at 20. It's growing like crazy.
Last time
fast.
I looked, we were at 18.
18.2.
There you go.
18.2, yeah. And I looked yesterday. I was like,
that's nuts.
7.
Averaging
really,
about 4.
really 3 months.
I know. Literally.
3.5 months. Yeah.
Literally. 18.
What's our goal? 50 by the Olympia?
Minimum.
I mean,
minimum 50.
Minimum 50, but really 100. 100's the goal.
I mean, we're averaging 4.2K a month, and then Olympia is how many months from now? 7?
Yeah, about that.
4 times 7. So we'd definitely be over 50.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're not going to be able to do it if you guys aren't subscribing to the YouTube channel. And we need your help to do it. So if you haven't, subscribe to the YouTube channel, tap the bell so that you're notified of every single episode when they go live. And also make sure to like the video, drop a comment. That helps with the algorithm. And last but not least, take a screenshot. There's a little QR code in the top right-hand corner that'll take you straight to the Instagram page. So make sure to tag the Men's Physique Show official, Hart McGrath, Aline Bolton, and Philip Naselli, and we'll share that on our stories as well. Let's talk about, what are we talking about next? We're talking about Vitor? Or are we talking about the Arnold?
Who am I throwing it over to now? Who's first?
So does Phil.
Throw it over to me.
Avomp. Yeah, and this is Aline asked me to put Vitor in here, and I'm really glad he did. This guy's got to be feeling good. Vitor's got to be feeling, hungry, because he's not on top of the mountain yet. So I feel like he's in a really good mental space where, I did really good. Yeah, I battled right there with Brandon, the best in the world. But I still need a little bit more. And I love, ever since we started talking about his back, he's posting a lot of his back. And I love it, bro. I just got chills. That's so crazy. That's how you know I love this shit. I love it, bro. Own that back, dog. Like, that is your back. You are the Brazilian back king. And I feel like that's going to drive him more and more. But let's talk about Vitor, because we have the Arnold Classic UK here in 2 weeks time. And when you look at this roster, Brandon's not going to be there. And as far as I'm concerned, I see Dayu, I see Vitor, I see Emmanuel. That's my top three, Phil. Who do you have in the top three? And do you possibly have Vitor winning the UK?
I think, there's no doubt about it. He's going into this one as a favorite. Let's be honest. After what we all saw in Ohio a couple of weeks ago, like the improvements that this guy made in that rear shot, obviously it has now matched the front shot. It was never, Vitor was always in the conversation, but was he in the conversation to actually take out the show? Now we've got even more reason for him to be able to take out this one. Now that Brandon's not there, he's going to be, firing now knowing that, he it was neck and neck with Brandon. Now that he's not there, this is going to add more fuel to the fire to say, hey, this is my one now to lose, if anything. And the ball's in his court. Like, just keep locking it down. Obviously, the midsection is something that needs to continue to improve. So he's got, he's had 3 weeks or 2 weeks since the Arnold to really continue to dial that midsection in. But if he brings what he brought to the Ohio stage in a couple of weeks' time in the UK, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this guy can take it out.
Well said. Dude, I wish that Vitor had those same abs that the figurine that he has there had.
Yeah.
Because he would literally be crushing everybody. Like, he's, to your point, Phil, he's got the perfect look. I think that this figurine doesn't do him enough justice in the chest, because his chest is actually fuller than that. But be that, and more bubbly. But be that as it may, as we like overtly and go way over the top with the dissection of the figurine, I gotta tell you, man, really rooting for Vitor. One of the things that this Heart of a Champion said was, after the show, he hit me up. He was like, "Hey, what'd you guys think? What did Tyler think? The whole nine, Tyler Mannion." And I shot straight with him, and I said, "Yo, this is the deal, man. You look the best. Literally, you look the best that anyone has seen to date. And keep improving that midsection. Hold it in. Don't release the stomach, the contraction, and breathe through the chest. And you're right there, and a little bit more chest, a little bit, and just keep bringing up the back like he's doing, getting it a little bit thicker, a little bit more dense. But he's got such a beautiful physique. It just screams men's physique, the shape, the look, that diamond physique. Again, look at that. He didn't have that. He didn't have any of that before. Mm-hmm. Impressive. Turtleback. We call him on our show Vitor V-Tapor Chavez, because he is the V-Tapor look that you want if you're in men's physique. This is such a beautiful silhouette, and he just needs to come with this package a little bit more polished even, and it's going to be very, very difficult to beat him. To your point, Phil, Emmanuel Hunter, Andre Dayu, absolutely two guys who are snipers who can do it. And I think we'll see, probably Ben Quill somewhere rounding out that top 4-5 position for sure this time around, because A, he shouldn't be sick, and B, his body's in really, really good condition, and he's brought himself up a lot too. So hopefully he comes in, he's looking good, he's bubbly, and can rock out.
Yeah,
yeah, man.
I was going to quickly add, man is the one to watch out for now. Obviously, he's gone into the US show, and I think him and Will played it a little bit safe. I think one thing I said to Mike was they focused on the front, and they focused on bringing in the conditioning with the front, but the back wasn't as detailed, as hard as what we normally see with E-Man. But now that these guys, Will and E-Man, have the data, I can guarantee you E-Man's back is going to be so much better than what it was a couple of weeks ago. So between those two, I reckon it's going to be a really, really tough, it's going to be a dogfight between those two. But like you said, Ben Quill is definitely a man that we need to keep our eyes on. He was ill last time around. we shouldn't see the same. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he's not ill moving into this one. And if E-Man brings it in, if Ben Quill brings it in, if DU brings it in, this is going to be a dogfight. That's what I'm saying.
Is this not the most stacked Arnold UK to date yet? I don't remember a show this stacked before for the Arnold UK and Men's Physique. Do you, Hart?
No, for Arnold UK, no. This is even with Brandon dropping out, it's still a very, very exciting show that's happening in the UK. I can't wait because there's so many storylines that are happening for the Arnold Classic UK. Think about Alessandro Cavagnola. Where is he placed now that he's not going to make that same mistake again? What do you guys think of that? Where do you see Alessandro placing?
I see him in the top 5-6 position, potentially even 4th, bro. His updates look crazy that he sent us. When I saw his updates and how prepped he was and how ready he was, big dude, but man, he's got lines galore. He's got lines like you gave a kid a crown, a blank book, and you just said, have at it, and they just went all crazy with the lines. Like, he's got lines and lines and lines and lines and lines. What do you think, Phil? Where you have him?
I would say, Hart, if you can open that photo under the Superman bag photo, that was him before when he was planning to jump on the Arnold Classic stage. He looked great, man. Like, midsection was dialed in, the obliques were dialed in, the guy he's got a nice round chest. Obviously, he could have filled up a little bit more. This was obviously when he was still a little bit flat, but, this improved, obviously 2 weeks worth of improvements, plus a different mentality, a different mindset. The guy's hungrier. Like, to your point, Hart, he's not going to make that same mistake again. So I'm with you, Gaffer. I reckon, within, I would say between 5 and 7, I can definitely see him anywhere between there. I put obviously close to the 5th position, but yeah, this guy's going to be dangerous, man, with a different mindset, not a different mindset, but obviously what happened at Ohio would have played in his head. And he's going to come back like a dog, man. He's going to be hungrier than ever to obviously perform and show the world that, I wish I was on that US stage, but now it's my time to shine.
I like it. Hey, one thing I just want to mention really quick, boys. The fans, I don't know if they know that we are going to be streaming the Arnold UK.
We are.
Arnold UK has allowed the Men's Physique show to stream it live. We'll be doing commentary. Tune in, check it out, see what we got. How we talk about the athletes is going to be a lot of fun.
We'll do some promos leading up to that. It is going to be on our YouTube page. So if you do want to hear us, obviously commentate on the Men's Physique division throughout the UK show, definitely tune in. Make sure to set a reminder. We'll obviously drop more information about that throughout the course of the weeks leading up to that show, but we'd love to have you, tune into the stream. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Couldn't agree more. I'm super excited. Aleem, you locked down that, so thank you for that. Aleem met up with the director of the Arnold Classic. I mean, there's the director of the Arnold Classic, who is Brian Powers. Shout out to Brian Powers for letting us do this. And then it's Arnold Schwarzenegger. So the fact that we have access and connections and networking like that is massive. So shout out to Aleem. Last topic of the day. Let's talk about Emil Walker. And Aleem, what's going on here? What is this certificate?
Bro, Emil Walker is an amazing guy. Remember when he was on our show and we did the interview with the King of Europe, and he mentioned that he gives back to the community. He gives back to kids, specifically like orphans and so forth. He's got a certificate now and just got his skills to foster certificate. Shout out to Emil Walker for being a great human being and giving back to the community, not just a bodybuilder, but on a spiritual journey as well and giving back to people, man. This is the type of stuff I love to see. And when we say we really appreciate the athletes that are on our show, many of them have this type of mindset, and they might not take it in the same direction as Emil Walker, and they may go a different direction or whatever, but it's always positive. And that's one thing I love about our community. Again, fastest growing community, bodybuilding community in the world, Men's Physique. Let's go.
Yeah, I love what this guy does. He just gives back to so many people. And just by, I know he's got a couple of foster kids that he was looking after, and the guy's got a heart of gold. We know how selfish bodybuilding is. It's always about you. It's always about, especially when you're prepping, you got to eat your meals and you got to sacrifice going out with loved ones and you got to do this and you got to do that. A lot of the guys that we've spoken to definitely love to give back, but Emil Walker just takes it, one step above. To be able to not only think about himself, but also help the kids around him, bring him into his house and look after him. He does whatever he can to help the community. And like I said, this guy's got a heart of gold and we love this guy. So Emil, when you're hearing this, man, keep doing what you're doing, man. The world needs more people like you, man. And we definitely want to have you back in the future to really dive into this, man, because I'd love to hear a little bit more about it.
Emil Walker, bless up, brethren.
Guys, make sure you subscribe to the show. 18.2 thousand subscribers. In a few months, that'll be over 50,000 subscribers within a year. I mean, no one does that. Just dropped the Bhawan Chao interview. It's going crazy. If you missed our Arnold Classic update, go check that out. This episode will drop very shortly. Other than that, boys, what a fantastic episode with two of my brothers.
Hey, Hart, when you catch up with Brandon, you already know it's go time. Call the boys. We're jumping on.
We'll be here waiting for you. We'll be here waiting for the call. Guys, thank you again for making it to the end of the episode. I just want to give a special thank you to the guys powering the show. Manifest Board Shorts, Physique Fitness, ProSeek, Huge Supplements, Kippy, and Dr. Campbell over there at the Center of Wellness and Pain Care. We could not do this without you guys, as well as the Horde. Like I said earlier in the episode, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel yet, make sure to do so. Tap the bell icon to be one of the first to be notified when every single episode interview goes live. And don't forget to like the video, drop a comment down below. Definitely helps with the algorithm, helps us push the video out to more men's physique and bodybuilding fans around the world. And last but not least, don't forget, take that screenshot, upload it to your Instagram story, use the QR code in the top right corner, and make sure to tag the Men's Physique Show official Hart McGrath, Aleem Bolton, and Philip Naselli, and we'll reshare that on our pages too. And guys, thank you again. Hart, all right, you go.
Last thing before Aleem hits in here, I do want to, any one of our audience members, if you're thinking about competing in men's physique, or you just want to have a better physique and you want to be led by someone who has the mentality, the knowledge, the certs, I mean, the experience, the testimonies, the transformations, Philip Naselli is your guy. If I ever decide to compete again, I'm going to Phil. I've known Phil for over 3 months now, and just to see how he works with his clients, how he does his transformations, how he takes care of himself mentally and physically, that's your guy. Link will be in the description below. If you want any type of physique coaching, whether it's lifestyle or competition, go sign up with Phil.
Phil's your guy. Best believe that. Gaff out.
I appreciate that, boys. I didn't see that one coming. You blindsided me.
You're good, bro. So we're not just saying that because you're family. We're saying it because you're actually really great. So let's go.
Appreciate you, boys.
This was great. Love you, boys.
We out.
We'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.